Moi.
Moi? Moi? Okay, I got you. Kiitos. No, it's kiitos. My Finnish is getting better and better after like 24 hours, so that's cool. Yeah, so I'm Tika. Oh, I don't have my slides. Sorry. Let's. 2 seconds. I'm Tika, and I am from Skyscanner. And I am here to talk about the truth about influencer marketing. So I've been working with Skyscanner for 4 years, more, but I've been doing influencer marketing for like more than 7 years. So that's me. I like to take photos. Went from big cameras to little tiny compact cameras. I like tiny things now. I am the senior growth manager. So Skyscanner now calls marketing growth, and I am a senior growth manager. I look particularly about influencer marketing. There's my Twitter handle if you want to ask any questions after the keynote speech. Okay, 25 minutes. I should start focusing. I talk a lot. I start shy, but eventually after 5 minutes, I don't want to get off the stage. Like, I want to stay here. So hopefully I steal like 5 minutes of Casey's time. He wouldn't mind. So let's talk about the truth. The truth about influencer marketing. It's a hard thing sometimes to actually face the truth. It's like, getting feedback from people, getting inputs. It's not always good. So it's good to get the positive ones, but the less positive ones is a little bit harder. But we have to deal with it. Me again. So that is me 17 years ago. I'm kidding. No, 35 years ago. And that is me on the left. So I have evolved from somebody who did not know how to use makeup to being able to use makeup, from somebody who liked dolls to now working at Skyscanner. Well, actually, I didn't do my makeup today. That's a lie. I had a makeup artist do it. Thank you. So the point is, like our lives evolve really fast, technology evolves really fast, influencer marketing evolves really fast as well. And we have to constantly keep up with it. So this is just the stats from like 5 years ago. The topic of influencer marketing on Google Trends. If you look at it, like the growth, if you compare the searches for the topic of influencer marketing, social marketing, content marketing, you remember the days where content was king? Well, content is still king. Everybody goes like, content is king, content is king. But now when you look at Google Trends and you look at the amount of people searching for these topics, look where influencer marketing is. In like the past 2 years, it just skyrocketed. It's like a massive boom to the end. Let's look at like 5 years ago or even more than that. When we did influencer marketing, it was a lot more about like brand awareness. So every single campaign we did when we worked with influencers, it was about the brand. Brand awareness, brand awareness, brand awareness. But now, when we do influencer marketing, it's not just about brand awareness, like a generic term, like very vague, very fluffy. It's more about like the bottom line results, not just for the brand, but also for the influencers who work with the brand. Because in the end, it's your revenue. It's your bread and butter. So it's your bottom line results as well, influencers, as much as us brands. And so part of the evolution is the things we measure in influencer marketing. Back then, I remember the days where, like, ooh, yay, we got a backlink from a certain blogger. Yeah, that's really good for SEO. That's amazing. But all we cared about was like, we had a backlink. It's good for SEO. And then, social media mentions. We get influencers talking about us, mentioning us. We're like, oh my God, this person came to this event and, did all these mentions and stuff like that. Or, I don't know, if you run a hotel or you run a restaurant, they mention about your industries. You get really excited about it. And then we had them like, oh, we've got so-and-so writing for us, which is like, it's amazing. And then media coverage, like, back then when PR used to send like media releases to journalists and bloggers, and then you get it covered by bloggers, that is also amazing. And then we also looked at numbers from the bloggers back then, because it was before Instagrammers, YouTubers, Snapchatters, and what have you now, all these different channels. We looked at web monthly visits. We looked at the numbers of social media followings. We looked at things like, how many views did we get for a video? How many likes, how many shares, how many comments? Like, oh, the more, the better. Yeah, you get all excited. And then after that, you have all these reach and impressions, even bigger numbers, because it's just like you multiply it by the amount of followers they have and all that stuff. So especially with Twitter and all that, you get really, really big numbers, and it really excites you. But today, unfortunately, we have to look at how much we invest in time, in money, and look at things that are more tangible. What do those likes mean? What do those comments mean? What does that backlink mean? What does it mean for us as a brand investing in influencers? And also, what does it mean for the influencer who's working with us? So at Skyscanner, not that this is a Skyscanner thing, but we adapted the pirate metrics. Why do we call it the pirate metrics? Because it sounds like, if you abbreviate it, it sounds like R. So it's AARRR. Acquisition, activation, retention, let me cheat, referral, and revenue. So the whole point of influencer marketing is that you've got two sides. You've got the influencer, and you've got marketing. Influencer without influence is not an influencer. You could be a freelance photographer, freelance writer, content contributor, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are an influencer if you don't have a social influence or an influence towards your audience. And then you've got the whole marketing side of things. It's not just getting a project done, doing a campaign for the sake of, okay, the brand has a budget to spend, the influencers need income. And then you just do something for the sake of, let's do it, get the paycheck, and over and done with. No, it's really about marketing. So you got to think about, when you're creating content, influencers have to think about things from a marketing perspective. You also have to put your marketing hat on. But same way that brands also have to look at, not only content creators are influencers, brands are influencers as well. I would say that Skyscanner is an influencer in travel, for example. Everybody knows Skyscanner in this room, right? Yes? How do you say yes in Finnish? Great. I'll take that as a yes from everybody knowing Skyscanner. So as a brand, we also have to put our hats on as influencers. So going back to the pirate metrics, more about me. So I'm going to take 2 minutes of your time now. So either you go on Twitter or you go on Instagram. And you could either go to my Twitter profile or my Instagram profile. And the chapeau, because the internet in this hotel is amazingly fast. So I'm sure we could get this done in 2 minutes. So if you go to either of my profiles, if you could just do me a favor and click on the link in the bio. Choose which photo profile you like best, and then click on the link below. And it's not a Brella date, just so you know. Okay, have you done it? I tested it. It only took me less than 2 seconds to get the page.
I already liked you earlier.
Thank you. Oh, actually, I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm not gaming the system and trying to cheat my way to get followers. Actually, that is a good idea. I don't have to pay for it. Follow me, 600 people. Oh my God, so my following would be 1,200. It is not sponsored. It's authentic. Okay, so if you've clicked on the link, what landing page do you get? Skyscanner. Everybody got Skyscanner? Great. So now, if you wanted to come and visit me in Edinburgh, do you know how much it would cost from Helsinki to Edinburgh. The exact dates, I think you've got the 28th, return 29th. 3 hours coffee should do. Over and done with. It's also wet in Edinburgh, so no difference to Helsinki. So what is the price to go to Edinburgh? Great. So that is what we do in influencer marketing at Skyscanner. When you create content, whatever type of content you create, you have an objective. My objective was to test if you would click the link and then go to the landing page. So when you go to the Skyscanner landing page, I've just acquired you. That's acquisition. So when we create content with influencers, and influencers drive traffic to our site or to our app, that's acquisition. They're sending their audience to the brand. So the brand's acquiring users. And then when you did a search from Helsinki to Edinburgh, that's activation. That's ROI. So conversions doesn't necessarily always have to be a money value. Conversions could be whatever call to action you designed for your campaign, and people actually do it. So I wanted you to click, you click. And I could check that on Bitly later, how many people actually click. So if I don't see 600, I'm not coming to PING next year. I'm kidding. And then retention is if you tomorrow use Skyscanner again, and after using it the first time here, that means I have retained you because you came back to me tomorrow, after tomorrow, in a year's time. Referral is when you tell somebody at home, Tika from Skyscanner told us to do this thing. I'm pretty sure she wanted us to like her profile, but you mentioned Skyscanner. You just referred Skyscanner to somebody back home. And then revenue comes at the end. So every business is different, so we get money differently. So in the end, revenue is really at the end. It's not our primary goal with influencer marketing as such, because it's more about getting people to create content that is going to influence their audience to actually come to the brand, to do all these AAR before the revenue. So thank you for clicking, by the way. So the truth is that in influencer marketing, tracking is vital, and data is indispensable. You need data. Whether you're a brand, whether you're an influencer. If you're an influencer, you have to know your data. You have to know your audience. It's really important. Like, you need to know what your audience's interest is. You need to know their geo-specification, their language, everything, because when you talk to the brand, you have to tell them what audience you have to see whether your audience is actually relevant to the brand or not. And same thing with the brands. You need to know whether, through data, whether the results of the campaign show that the audience of that particular influencer actually interacted and engaged with the content they created. And however, numbers without context is irrelevant. So that's where all the social media metrics comes into play as well. So we can't go without it. So just quickly at Skyscanner, this is like with influencer marketing tracking, you could see everything, all the campaigns that we do. You could see on your left-hand side, like the traffic to the web. Every single influencer, I could see how much traffic they send, how many flight searches they did, hotel searches, car hire, how many actually purchased it, how many went to the news site, how many did this. I could track everything. I could track what's the percentage of the retention rate. And that, in the end, defines who you are going to work with in the nearest future, because you want to keep working with people that are influencers, but also good marketers for your brand. And these are the different marketing channels at Skyscanner. And you would wonder which one is the influencer marketing dot. Do you know which one it is? Which color? That one. That tiny dot. Well, the size of the dots means the volume. So in comparison to other marketing channels at the moment, we don't spend as much as we spend in other channels. But if you look at where it stands in terms of activation and conversion, it's a strong enough channel that I could say to management, I can validate this channel because influencer marketing works. We could see product activation. We could see that influencers bring relevant users to our site. We can see that the quality is good, our product is relevant, because we primarily serve flight searches, and people are searching for flights. So that's a good way to sort of validate things. So we start small, grow big, and scale fast. And we do it the growth hacking way. OK. I'm really tight with time. So I'll play you an example of blogger event that we did in Southeast Asia, in Singapore, with Asia Pacific bloggers, which included a destination travel exploration in Singapore, but also an onboarding process. 2 seconds.
And I'm from the Philippines. It's day 2 of the Skyscanner event, and so far I'm really happy. I've gained a lot of new friends, and today I heard we are going out on a tour, so I'm really excited for that.
This is really good event for me. It's really nice, like a chance to make new friends and meet people from other countries, and it makes me more inspired.
I'm Jason from Malaysia. People call me Smashpop because I use that name for my blog and my Instagram and my YouTube as well. So I'm at Skyscanner event now, and I really think that this is a good event because now that I'm here, I get to meet a lot of different people and people from different countries, and exchange ideas and stuff.
Hello, I'm Mariska Prudence. I'm a travel blogger from Indonesia. This Skyscanner workshop event, I think, is a very good thing because bloggers from different countries can meet, and we can learn a lot about blogging, the business behind the blog, and also we also know a bit about Skyscanner.
2 seconds. Okay, so from that event, we've been, so there was like more than 20 influencers attending it. What is important about that event is that it's important for the brand and the influencers that you choose to work with long-term to actually speak the same language. So it's important for the brand to explain what the metrics are, how they measure things, what their objectives are. But it's also important for the brand to understand, what do influencers actually want? What do they have to say? What do they know? What are the trends? The things that we don't see from a brand perspective. So that was really, really good. And we've created so many activities and campaigns out of it. We've sent bloggers to different destinations to do like really great content, and it's worked really, really well. So that's some of the content creation. And then because the first one worked really well, we did a second one where we took like 25 bloggers to Indonesia from all different countries. It was 10 countries in total to create content about different destinations in Indonesia. And that also really, really, we had like a lot of insights from the second onboarding process that we did with over 20 influencers. And to date, we're still working with them. There's like ongoing campaigns happening. And it's amazing when you speak the same language. It makes working together really, really easy. So some of the results from the campaign in Indonesia, as you can see, and you could also track the results of the blogs that the content creators have created. So coming back to influencer marketing, you need to know that in the end, influencer marketing is not so much about you as the influencer or us as the brand, but it's more about the influencer's audience that eventually are going to be the brand's customers. That's what we have to think about. We have to think about what they need. What do your audience need? What your influencer's audience need, and what the brand eventually see from those users and what they need. So it's the need of the influencer's audience. It's all about trust. And we all know that. It's about relevancy. And I know that the whole day everybody's been talking about it as well. But most of all, it's about growth. Why growth? Because when influencers grow, they're not going to be stagnant having like 10 followers. Your followers are going to keep on growing. So when the influencers grow, the brand grows with the influencers. And when the brand grows, the influencers actually also grow with the brand. Whether or not you realize it, that you actually get some impact out of working with good brands for great campaigns. So this is a great example where we, with the whole trust, relevancy, and growth, we started with Damon and Joe. We did small tests and everything, and we saw them grow, and we started to do a lot more. And then eventually, they've become one of our biggest partners. Okay, like I said, I do talk a lot. I've got 1 minute left, and I still have quite a lot of slides. I'm not going to run. I've got my slides prepared already, so you could actually download it eventually. So I'm going to skip a few things. Do you think Casey would mind if I steal like 5 minutes? Can I steal 5 minutes? No? Okay. Oh, I can steal 2 minutes. So that means I've got 3 minutes. So relationships is important. Building relationships from events, from partnering with influencers is really important. The thing about relationships is, the one thing I'm really amazed about influencer marketing is that everybody knows everybody in all different parts of the world. You mentioned one name and somebody's going to go like, oh, I know this person, which makes it so much easier to create like global campaigns because everybody's going to say like, I'm going to refer you to X, Y, and Z. That's amazing. Oh, I got the timing added. I was going to play you this video where the network we have with influencers made this particular campaign, launch in like 3 days. We did a collaboration with 24 influencers in 24 cities around the world. We prepared it in like 3 days, and I couldn't have done it if I didn't have the right influencers with the right network. So I could name people like Alicia from UK, and then Cash, and all these people went like, here's all the people that we know, and you could ask them. And this launched, and I was really amazed. It was really great because we tried Periscope for the first time. But sometimes, like all relationships, not all relationships work well. Sometimes it's just not meant to be, but it's okay. You don't have to force things. There's other brands, other influencers. So, keep the love. maybe it's not today, maybe it's going to be tomorrow. And the other thing is that I've learned it the hard way that poor attitude gets you nowhere. I've worked with influencers that have like they were really tough, let's put it that way. And, but you have to go through things like that. You work with really amazing influencers that you fall in love with. It's just they're so good, and you become friends, you become best friends. But then you do have ones that just are a nightmare. But it's like life, you don't have all good friends. You've got all sorts of friends. Instant wins are not sustainable. Micro-influencers. Okay. See, that's the thing. It's really hard to do it in 25 minutes. But anyway, let me just give one last advice. Not everything that can be counted counts. And not everything that counts can be counted. So remember that in influencer marketing. Remember that there are things that data can't count. So brands, remember that. Thank you, Finland.
Oh, honey, you're so.
Thank you.
I don't want to go.
Hey, isn't
You
passion
nailed
one of the most
gonna
beautiful
stay.
qualities in a
I'm not going anywhere.
Take your seat here.
I can stay here with us.
Great.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tika.